thewhothatdaily.com. That's right, thewhothatdaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, thewhothatdaily.com is your site. Thewhothatdaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger Talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tuff Tiger Talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tuff Tiger Talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers.
You're now listening to Tuff Tiger Talk with Big Q and the guys on the Pro Media Network.
What's going on, fam? Big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all joining us for another live edition of Tuff Tiger Talk. This was called LSU Keeps It Close and Alabama lost 20-14. They had LSU losing by 4 scores. LSU just by 6. A little bit more offensive imagination. During that bye week, we could have picked up and threw some more stuff in that offensive playbook to kind of surprise LSU. Defense came to play, holding them to 2 scores. High-powered Alabama offense held to 2 scores. They had 2 field goals. LSU could have ran away with this thing and shocked the college nation. But guess what? Offensive ineptitude, not enough offensive imagination. Same ass stuff back and forth. Eventually, people that are good will stop you. So welcome to Tuff Tiger Talk Sunday edition. Big ups to the fam. Appreciate you. I'm Big Q chiming in this one. Well, my co-hosts, GM Kev and Uncle Mozzie, are in the building. Welcome to the stream, fellas.
What up? What up?
Oh, what's up, baby?
All right, fam. We were discussing it off. Had a really good conversation off. We're gonna kind of run through some of these topics. As LSU, 2014, a lot of people thought it was going to be a complete evisceration. LSU defense came and played well. They were able to fluster Young early and often, and they held them to 2 offensive touchdowns, and of course they kicked 2 field goals. And there's some questionable play calling there. People are questioning why they went for it on the 4th down, all this kind of stuff. But listen, before we even get into that, let's go ahead on and play Coach Ogeron and hear what old Coach O had to say about LSU's loss. Here's Coach O, fam.
Played. I truly thought we were a better team tonight. We just came up a couple plays short. Wish we would have had a better plan on offense, especially in the second half. We had opportunities to score. We didn't. I got to take that responsibility. I just wish that we could have put our guys in better positions to win. Any question?
Coach, the decision with about 7 minutes left when you were down by 6 to go for it on 4th and goal to 7 instead of kick. Can you talk about that a little bit?
We're going for it. We walked in the stadium, we were going for it. There was no question. We're going for the win the whole time.
And if I could have follow up, the 2 turnovers, the one late in the first half, the one to start the second half.
Costly. That's a turnover before first half should have never happened. Costly, and then Tyrant had a big run. The guy did a good job of stripping, but we knew we had to win the turnover battle to win the game. And there were 2 costly turnovers, no doubt.
Coach, I missed your first statement where you said you wish you had something. If you could repeat that or kind of clarify what you were talking about.
Yeah, I wish we had a better plan. We was in position to win this football game, but we didn't. We stalled. We stalled on the 8-yard line. Then we get a sack fumble, and we gained 1 yard. I mean, we can't do that. We got to put our guys in better position. That's all.
Monday, I asked you what the self-scouting was, and you were very honest about the predictability. You went against that tonight with defensive blitzes and pressures. I didn't see a ton different on offense, but you may have been limited, and I don't know about that. But did you feel like, obviously you have nothing to lose, but did you feel like we've got nothing to lose? Let's go out and fight as best we can.
Well, I don't like that statement, nothing to lose, because there's a game to lose, and that's important to us. You know what I mean? But we felt that we had to blitz. We felt that we had to be more diverse on defense, and we worked our tails off last week. And I got to give Coach Call credit. He's an analyst for us. He came up with those third down blitzes. There's a couple of third down blitzes. The one that we had the sack fumble, he recommended to it. We put it in. I got to give the compliment to the defense. We had an adjustment period. I thought our defensive guys really got better during open day.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, fam. Let's Coach O giving his thoughts on the Alabama game. And man, Kev, we're going to get your analysis. What do you think about what Coach O was saying, man, about the game plan, wishing they had a better offensive plan? He's the head coach. I mean, he approves the plans. We should have definitely had a more imaginative attack against LSU with that extra bye. We could have slipped some stuff in there to kind of help out the defense. The defense suppressed them to the best of their ability. We just needed another score to take it from them. When we were down there, just couldn't get it. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, you couldn't ask for nothing more going to Alabama primetime game. They, pumped and ready, and you only give up 20 points and you can't seal the deal. Man, that was disappointing, Q, because that's the best I've seen the defense played, in my opinion, since 2019 of an opponent of a game that matters like that. So yeah, 2 weeks, no imagination. I thought it was going to be some more stuff in the offensive game plan. We talked about that coming into the season. That I know Mozzie talked about it too. That we thought that offense wasn't going to do good with Max Johnson's skill set, and they just keep running the same offense all year. So next game, same offense, and to the end of the year, same offense. So I thought it would be a more balanced attack. Corey kind of 5 carries,
7 yards.
I just don't get it. I'm more confused as you are. For the defense to play that good and to give it up like how they gave it up toward the end, as far as 4th and goal, you can't get it in. That's just the LSU season, bro.
Uncle Mozzie, chime in on this one, man. You heard what Coach O was saying, bro, about the offensive game plan, which they had a better plan. Defense did look good. They did send the blitz a lot, neutralized, pretty much showed the nation how to kind of slow down relatively, put a halt on Alabama's offense, kept them frustrated for most of the night, but we weren't able to get the offensive imaginative points to kind of push past that thing. We had some time, and I was disappointed in the game plan offensively too. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, one thing that we're looking at and we're noticing is we have got maturation going on the defensive side of the ball, because those guys have either been playing together a fairly long time, or they've just been playing in a college set. On the offensive side of the ball, you got a lot of first-time guys. You got a lot of guys it's their first time either playing with each other, pause, or it's their first time, playing on this stage, on this level. So what you're seeing a completely mature defensive side of the ball, where you have a completely immature offensive side of the ball, which does limit the amount of offensive sets that you can run as a play caller. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I would think, and in a perfect world it would be this way, but this isn't a perfect world. I would think, or I would have hoped that we would have given Coach O, only 2 years removed from an undefeated national championship season, I would have thought that we'd have given at least 2 years on this new class, kind of post-pandemic, just to let these guys kind of mesh. We just got Max Johnson as a default starter in August due to injury. So, for me, it kind of is one of those things. Is how you start is kind of how you finish. We started rocky and kind of forced, and our season has been that. It's been rocky and forced. Our offensive plays have been rocky and forced. The coaching situation with Coach O is rocky, and now they got a couple candidates that's being forced. So, for me, I think that the administration is allowing the public opinion to kind of weigh in over actual value. Going to, even touching on the topics that we talked about off camera, we can't let perception supersede value. And that's what we do. That's what we've done going into the season, and that's what we continue to do. And in my opinion, that's what's causing this great rift and this free fall since 2019.
Yeah, that's very intriguing, interesting, Mozzie, that a lot of it is emotionalism, because people have a higher expectation for LSU football, and they're not living up to those expectations. And of course, I was kind of hesitant to putting Ogeron in the street so early, or letting them know his fate so early, because it kind of takes the pressure off for them to be able to try a little harder. So, I mean, he's a dead man walking. He's a lame duck coach, so he can understand that if I make a mistake or what have you, like the third down call and all this kind of other stuff, that whatever, I'm already out this piece. I'm already on the plank walking off the end. So it's it's no issue there. But anyway, let's look at the statistics right here. You see the first down, 16 apiece. 5 of 18 LSU was on third down. They kept Alabama 4-13. Alabama was 0 for 1 on fourth down. LSU converted 5 of 7 on fourth down. 295 total yards versus 308 yards right there. So you can see a lot of what was going on was really exceptional what LSU's defense was able to do against Alabama. And the statistics mirror that. Look at this. The passing yards, 186 versus 302. But look at the rushing statistics. LSU ran at 109 and held Alabama's rushing attack to 6 points. I mean, 6 yards. I said 6 points. 6 yards, family. On 26 attempts, they ran the ball 26 times for 6 yards, according to statistics here. So 9 for 64 on the penalties. So all the things that LSU would have needed to kind of win this thing, they did. They even controlled the time of possession with 31-16 versus 28-44. So they did a terrific job blitzing and frustrating young Bryce Young on the day. The defense was able to get to them. They were able to limit and one-dimensionalize Alabama, but the offense could not put up the necessary pointage. Just one more touchdown, we would have been able to take that thing from them, man. So very sad. I was looking for that score to come. We had 2 attempts on the back end of the game to capitalize with a touchdown there. Some of the family members were saying, Q, if we'd have kicked the field goal there and took the points, all we would have needed is a field goal late or what have you. But like Ogeron said just a few minutes ago, we played that he felt he was going for the win, and the team was 5 of 7 on fourth down. So think about that. All right, so before I go into let me get the individual statistics, and I get the fellas to chop up game with the rest of this stuff. Max Johnson, 16 of 32 for 160 on the day, averaging 5 yards per throw, 2 touchdowns and 1 pick, QBR at 35.9 in the game. And of course, you see TD Price, as I call him, 23 carries, 104 yards against Alabama's rush stuffing defense, one of the tops in college. LSU was able to put up 40 carries for 109 yards against that said vaulted Alabama defense. They handled business. Top receiver was Jahray Jenkins. He had 4 catches for 54 yards, even though Jack Betch and Brian Thomas Jr. were the ones that received the touchdowns. And then, of course, you look at some of the fumbles that happened with with TD Price giving up that fumble. He was marching to score on that drive. And, of course, Roy was making big plays in there, getting sacks and turnovers. Roy he came in and really showed what time it is. Damone Clark finished the game with 8 tackles and a sack. McGlothern had 7 tackles as well. And, of course, LSU put up 4 sacks on on Alabama's quarterback, Neil Farrell Jr. Cameron Lewis had 1. Mike Jones Jr. had 1 as well. And who else had the other one? Damone Clark. And, yeah, I got that, Damone Clark. So, yeah, it was intriguing the whole night how LSU was able to pressure these guys and basically neutralize whatever rushing attack that they could muster or whatever they could do. But what's intriguing is LSU shut the door on their rushing attack. 26 carries for 6 yards. That's 0.2 yards per rush that they did. And only if the offense could have put up one more score, we would have shocked the nation and got a much-needed win. So, family, I'm going to start with Jim Kev. Go ahead and chime in on that, Kev, on those statistics. Team and individual.
There you go. But what's the telling stat is the 2 turnovers. That was the game right there. When they turned the ball over, it was short field for Alabama to work with. They got them on a long bomb on a sleep play. But as far as LSU defense, what they've been giving up, that's not bad. For what we've been seeing, they just gave up 1 big down the field pass. You hold them to 20 points. But, and I know, Q, you've been debating about this, but I kind of agree with Mozzie on this. I'm not all in with Max Johnson, bro. I'm more of a Nussmeier guy, bro. What I seen what he can do, I like, Coach, that's your quarterback right there. He should be playing, bro. But I guess we got to wait and see. Some people are really scared about freshmen. And look, bro, these are 4- and 5-star recruits coming out. They come from most big high schools. They have big crowds. They know when they go to these colleges, it's going to be big time football. So it's not about, oh, we're scared it's the stage. No, they go to these colleges for that. So if you see that guy's got more talent, and I know people in their corner been like, yo, play this guy. Look, we 4-5 already. Let's go see what he got for the rest of the season. You know, that's how I feel on it, bro.
Yeah, I think Nussmeier is an intriguing option, but Coach Orgeron already spoke about how he believes Max Johnson gives the team the best a chance of winning right now. LSU's now 4-5 after the very winnable Alabama game. It could have been beating them in Tuscaloosa, and getting the win coming back could have really kind of you put an infusion of excitement and energy back into LSU season by beating a vaunted rival in Alabama. Couldn't do it. Just too offensively predictable. Same play every damn game. We had an extra week. We could have slipped something in it. These guys supposed to have a version of Joe Brady's offense. Is so predictable. It's the same. Fake it to the running back, and then Max Johnson pretends to throw the damn ball. I mean, if you're a smart defense, eventually you will neutralize that. So, I mean, good grief, man. But it is what it is. LSU falls down 20-14. And like I said, it takes the sting out of it a bit, being that Coach Orgeron already realizes that whatever he do, it won't hurt him right now. He gets a $17 million payout. The team right now, even though they played and they stepped up in this game, we just need that extra oomph. And they're just not a good team right now. You know, I can see a lot of stuff that's going well, but a lot of these coaches, they're still trying to figure it out. Some of these guys like Pete's, they finally shifted the offense to that where it worked over the last several weeks in parts, but they have not done anything like added a regular style of offense in that on top of that to kind of help, you know, do some different things. And we might be down a few pieces here, but despite the fact that we were missing a lot of offensive firepower and defensive firepower due to injuries, they still were able to keep LSU held down by two offensive touchdowns. And of course, they kicked 2 field goals, but still 2 scores.
I tell you what, though, I'm still big on my guy becoming the next LSU star. That's going to be Dwight McGlothern, man. I see something in that dude, bro. Like, you know, just let him keep playing. You know, yeah, he's a freshman, but I've seen him, like, man, break on some of the stuff. It's some football stuff that small things people don't talk about unless it's a big play. Like, oh, okay, that's got to be on SportsCenter. That's got to be on, you know, Instagram because it's a big play. I'm just looking at his footwork, how he backpedaling and like jumping routes. I'm like, man, this dude ready, bro. By the time he get to be like in his junior year, he's gonna be like an All-American, bro.
Yeah, LSU, that's 2 straight losses for the Tigers family, losing to Ole Miss and now Alabama in between the bye. Next up is Arkansas. So LSU with 3 games remaining in the season. And, of course, they face Arkansas, who beat Mississippi State yesterday just by 31-28. So this is going to be a game, and let's set up for it and get ready for it, Kev. Preview it right quick. I mean, this is a game LSU, man, wow. They're 4-5. They need to win out, to be honest with you. And I got to give credit to Mozzie on a lot of his prediction because he said Chick-fil-A Bowl. And that stuck in my head, and I just thought he was hungry. Now, he was actually telling the truth. So much love to Mozzie, man, for calling that shit out. But here you go, LSU. We at home, coming back home for this one, 4-5 and 2-4 in conference play. Arkansas is 6-3 and 2-3 in conference play. This will be a 6:30 p.m. Central Time game next Saturday. And of course, their top quarterback is Jefferson. 129 out of 201, 1848 is what he has on the pass with 16 touchdowns and 3 interceptions for KJ Jefferson. Max Johnson, 178 for 296, over 2,000 yards passing on the year. He has 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions for Max Johnson. If you look at his season numbers, not bad at all. And then, of course, TD Price, the top rusher. He's less than 300 yards off a 1,000-yard season for TD Price. I think he gets it 143 yards for 731 with 6 touchdowns. Arkansas has a pretty good back in Trelon Smith, 95 carries for 476 and 4 scores. And of course, you see our best guy is out, Butte, with 38 catches for 509, 9 touchdowns, and their best offensive weapon is Mr. Burke, Treylon Burke, 48 catches for 799 yards with 8 scores. You can see right here that LSU's averaging almost 29 yards 29 points per game and giving up almost 28 points per game. So that's not good. But Arkansas averaging 32.6 while giving up 24 flat a game, and they're sitting up there at 6-3 on the season. 457.2 total yards, 372.3 by LSU. You can see 213.4 through the air for Arkansas, and they are rushed at 244 yards per game on the ground. So they hit you with the running attack. Run first, pass second. 244 yards per game. LSU 260.6 throwing the ball through the air and 112 on the ground. Now the defenses, that's the big thing. They allow 351.2 yards per contest. At 195, you can hit them with, and then you can gash this Arkansas defense. They let you run over them for 156 yards per contest. And of course, LSU giving up 397.3 and allowing you to throw at 241.1 and 148.2 is what we allow on the ground. Like I said, they're on a 2-game winning streak, just coming off a recent win over Mississippi State, who's 17th ranked. They beat them yesterday. And of course, LSU 2 straight losses, one to Mississippi State, and of course, which was 2 weeks ago. And of course, the Alabama loss today, which should have been a win. We have to rectify, get the win before, it gets too late in the game. So, with that being said, Kevin, let's hear your thoughts on it. Then we'll bring Uncle Mozzie in as well so he can hear what he has to say. A quick preview and thoughts on LSU getting a win over Arkansas.
Man, I thought I'd never see the day when Arkansas football team be having a better record than LSU football team. But I just let you know how times have changed to a degree. But, Arkansas played this nasty, grinded out football. This old-fashioned SEC football. So, I'm looking for a very competitive game, very close game. To me, it's going to come down to turnovers again. What can we do on offense? Hopefully, we can have some imagination, Q. I'm like you. I'm tired of seeing the same fake to the running back. Man, can we just get some different plays? Give the defenses something else to look at, because defenses now have 3 years of tape on this offense going back to 2019, 2020, and some of this year. So that's almost 3 years of tape you got on this offense. So hopefully the offensive coaches can mix something in, and we'll see what happens. I predict maybe LSU get by in 24-21 LSU.
Yeah, we need this one, man. We got 3 games remaining in the season, and LSU really needs to win out. Mozzie, let's get your call on the LSU Tigers versus the Razorback matchup. And I was giving you credit for your call early on in the season when you said this team will be making the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Have you dropped it from the Chick-fil-A Bowl to perhaps the Independence Bowl?
Yeah, we almost had the R&L Carriers. Is it still R&L? I think it's R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl or whoever's. I got to check on that. Can we get do we have a stat guy? Do we have a stat guy on call? Do we have a stat guy on staff? We need to get him to find if it's still R&L Carriers. Because I think that's what at least it's an early bowl. I think we playing on I think we played December 19th or something. It's like the early bowl, and it's like $5 tickets. So that's awesome. And it's in the Super Bowl. So
spend a lot of money to go very far. Huh? Is that logic?
Just like the team. So listen, this is not, I repeat, this is not your grandfather's Arkansas Razorbacks, right? Nor is it your grandfather's or grandmother's Kentucky Wildcats. This is a different day. The talent pool is definitely spread out. And you see that when you're looking at the A&Ms, the LSUs, the Arkansas, the Ole Misses. It's like, okay, we either have these dominant powerhouses where like Alabama, Auburn, they get all of the players, and Georgia, everybody else is left with this diverse talent pool, and you can see it because everybody else is either 500, just below 500, or trailing the top tier schools by a win or two. Is because all of the talent they have combined, everybody else has that talent pool kind of scattered and separated. It's like I told you, LSU has an awesome defense with an offense that's left to be desired, but they're only 1 year off or so. Nobody's going to take that plunge and wait for another year to see, because this is a what have you done for me lately type of situation that we're dealing with in 2021. So with that being said, I think LSU gave it all they had this game. I think they're completely defeated. I think they know that they're getting closer to the end of the season. I think they know the R&L Carriers Bowl is in their future. So I'm looking at this score to be 27-10 Arkansas.
27-10. I got a list of the FBS schedule up on there, Mozzie, and Conference USA versus Sunbelt is teams that make it there, not SEC clubs.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
so we're not going there.
so it's not going to be SEC. You might be looking at the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl in Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah, you know what?
Which is an American ACC and SEC club. So there you go.
Okay, that's it, right? The Union
SEC
Home Mortgage
team can go down. Yeah, it's the Union Home
Armed
Mortgage
Forces Bowl.
Guardian, the Gasparilla Bowl. Yeah, it's pretty much that would be the lowest bowl insofar as an SEC team could play in. So
one more loss, I guess we're going to the Brothers Fried Chicken Bowl.
Well, I mean, it's that I'm just telling you what time it is, and of course, it's the Birmingham Bowl, the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl. That which you can have an SEC club there. It's right here. I'm just laying out potential bowl matchups.
The Liberty Bowl in the Liberty Bowl.
The Liberty Bowl could be 1-2.
Yeah, that used to be out in Shreveport.
It's in Memphis now.
No, you thinking about that's right. It used to be in the Independence Bowl is Shreveport, Mozzie.
Okay, Liberty, Independence. I thought they were the same.
Liberty Bowl is Independence Bowl is Shreveport. The Liberty Bowl is Memphis. So. I Bowl. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, we've seen SEC teams play in the I Bowl before. We played in the Independence Bowl before. Matter of fact, when what's his name? The coach prior to us getting Nick Saban in there, Jerry
DiNardo.
Gennardo. There you go. When he was there. So let me see. But yeah, Mozzie, I'm looking at some of the SEC schools and where we could play.
The Mayo Bowl.
The bowls.
That's a nice one.
The Trans Perfect Music City Bowl.
Whoa, wait a minute. This is a kids program, brother. This is a family show.
This is it's in Nashville. And then there's the Duke's Mayo Bowl. There you go, Mike.
Listen, an all-brand mayo for an all-brand team. That's awesome.
Oh man, that's
what
terrible.
about the KFC Famous Bowl?
Can't be but it's the Peach Bowl. I mean, the Chick-fil-A Bowl is the Peach Bowl, so that could be. That's not a disrespectful bowl, but we have to win out the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl.
What?
SEC.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
The Las Vegas Bowl. Then there's the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl.
Why does that sound like a drug charge? The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. How many years do you get? Is that like you have all felons or what?
Who comes up with these names? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a newer one. Yeah.
The Outback Bowl is.
Oh, just notice Q. That's January 1st. You can stop. We're not at anything. We're not playing anything. Stop.
It'll be the early December games.
Right. What are you doing?
Early December Bowl
is off the books too.
Is that it? The early December games is what we're going to play. The early.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is December the 17th, and the only SEC bowl eligible. Like if you get to the SEC and is let me see if I can find it again. Is this bowl the Gasparilla Union Home?
That's us right there, baby.
On
That's
December
us.
the 23rd.
And that's us.
American team against the ACC team against the SEC team. So there you go.
That's gonna be us versus Duke. Watch this. That's it right there.
How many games you got to win to get in that bowl?
You got to probably 500
500
or just under. Yeah.
So I mean, Mozzie, so Kevin already said LSU wins. You predicted LSU to win close, right, Kev?
Yeah, I think they win close, but it could go. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. Like when Mozzie said that, I was like, he could be right about that too. But I'm hoping the home crowd, urges them on. They get a turnover here and there, just flip the script. But this Arkansas team is tough and they play tough. So yeah, it ain't years ago Arkansas teams. They coming, bro. So just like we said about Kentucky, same stuff.
So is that your call, Mozzie?
No, my call is these are kids and they're gonna be mad because they lost and they're losing their coach and they're gonna be pouting and Arkansas come out and hand them their ass. That's just, they're kids. They're not gonna an adult understands, even though my team sucks, I'm playing for the next contract. These kids they're not gonna understand, even though our team sucks, I'm still playing for a draft spot. Even though our team sucks, I'm planning to play on Sunday. I just don't think that at 18 and 19 years old that you understand that there's life after December, you know. And the only way we're going to right the ship is does that have anything to do with coaching? The game plans have all been implemented. They've practiced since, you know, the spring. There's nothing more that can be done. At this point, it's going to be just a matter of will to want to go out there and win. And with your coach on the bubble out of there, your season on the bubble, you about to play in the perfect the distribution crack charge music whatever bowl in Las Vegas, right? When you looking at all these things and knowing we suck, I just don't think that at 18 and 19 years old they can kind of wrap it together and play. Oh, and on the contrary, Arkansas is like, shit, we 8-3, we in this thing. We won't be in a play-in or playoff, but we damn sure eligible for the Capital One Bowl. We damn sure eligible for we here, and I think that's how they're looking at it. So you got one guy that's probably just giving up on all life, and you got one guy that just got a kidney transplant, fighting to live. So I mean, hey, so just looking at that this late in the season, I just don't see a scenario where this fares out good for LSU at all. I just don't. And again, they would definitely have to win out. What we got left? We got Arkansas. We got A&M, and we got how many games we got left? 3.
Yeah, that's
3
tough.
games left.
3 games. Yeah. Arkansas, A&M. That's an L. That's definitely an L. Arkansas is probably going to be an L. And who's the other guy? Who's the other team?
It's I think it's Texas A&M, isn't it, at the bottom?
Well, it's A&M for sure, but it's 3
Texas
games.
A&M. Yeah, Texas A&M is one of those teams. It's
right,
Arkansas,
that's for sure.
ULM, and Texas A&M on the 27th of November.
Yeah, A&M gonna be the last game. ULM will be a dub. It'll be a tough dub because ULM. I mean, they for whatever reason they always put them and like the Mustangs or the Cowboys. I don't know. They got the guy riding on the horse. That logo. I don't know. I think it's I don't know who they are, but they always play us remarkably tough for whatever reason.
How did UL Monroe get to November to play LSU, bro? That should have been an earlier game. Who scheduled that like that?
Well, honestly, if I'm LSU, I'm not against it because
I know you need to win.
You need, not only do you need to win, but that late in the season, especially with that gauntlet of Florida, Mississippi State, you get a bye, which is a break, then you get Alabama, and then you got another tough game at all. Well, they assumed that Arkansas was going to be a pushover, and ULM would be a pushover, and then you would finish up the tough game against A&M. I mean, that's how it was scripted, Unfortunately for LSU, it didn't go like that, but Arkansas and ULM in the preseason, I'm sure we all looked at that as dubs and kind of gimme games going into the tough game, which was A&M to finish out the season. That's how we all looking at it. I know that's how I would be looking at it.
So, well, what's most disappointing is that I expect a lot of more transfers too, and that's nobody hasn't talked about that.
Yeah, that's coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a part of it, fam. But listen. We talking about bowl games right now, and we kind of joking about that thing. But to be honest with you, if LSU doesn't beat Arkansas and Texas A&M, we know they'll beat the Pitland team in ULL. But if they can't defeat the next 2 SEC foes, they're not going to be bowl eligible.
Nope.
So I mean,
bye.
So they might not even get. We would hope to Mazi to get to your Peach Bowl prediction, but 3 games remaining, you expect them to win out and they'll finish 7-5. But if they lose to Arkansas, Mazi, this could be catastrophic for. They might not even make a bowl this year.
Mm-hmm. In which case, I would be wrong. I would have been wrong.
Yeah, but that's not a bad call to say Peach Bowl. But I was saying at least a bowl. They could have beat Alabama, man. They squandered so much.
Yeah.
We squandered so much. Anyway, let's get on to this. Let's move on, fam. We're gonna cover this last article right here, and this was brought to us by Kev. We're talking about LSU coaching searches. We'll continue to move that forward. As Mike Tomlin, I know a lot of family members probably heard about this report. If you haven't, as this was out of Saturday down south, this was reported on a couple of weeks ago. The LSU coaching search, Mike Tomlin could be interested. Now, this is from the thought of an NFL executive. and that unnamed NFL executive is listed in the article. Interesting name has been thrown into the LSU coaching search, and that's Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin. Former Bills general manager and Steelers executive Doug Wally said Wednesday on the Fan Show that he thinks that Tomlin may be interested in the position. He says, quote, 6 letters from the Steelers fans to be very concerned about LSU, USC, Wally said. Think about that. Both institutions can pay out the Rooney rules. Their alum base has enough money to give Mike Tomlin whatever he wants. 2, Mike Tomlin would be GM, president, CEO of the football program. 3, LSU athletic director Scott Woodard is known for giving big name hunting, for going for big name hunting. And in LSU, you have such a fertile recruiting ground, you're going to put a barricade and a fence around it. End quote. Wiley said Tomlin may find the job attractive is because Nick Saban may retire in a few years, giving LSU the chance to dominate. Quote, Saban's not going to be around forever. Now that you can talk about dominating the SEC like Saban, and you can put your name alongside those who won a Super Bowl and a national championship, end quote. Despite Wiley saying all of this, however, he did say he didn't have any sources who said Tomlin would be interested. So this is just pure speculation on Wiley's part. So let's comment on his. Let's start with you, Mozzie, first, and then Kel.
Well, I don't think Tomlin's going anywhere, and I'll tell you why. I don't think Tomlin is going anywhere because he, as a black quarterback, I mean, he's a black quarterback, as a black head coach, he took offense. I don't know if you saw the press conference the other day when a couple of reporters were asking him about the potential USC job, which is probably going to be a little bit more attractive than the LSU job. And he vehemently denounced any interest in that job. And it was almost to the point where he was like, hey, wait a minute. How dare you ask me, do I want the USC job? Did you ask Sean Payton? Did you ask, he named several other coaches that all happened to be white. And the press conference came off to me and to a lot of other people as though he was insulted about why would I take a collegiate job? You're not asking any of the white coaches. Yeah, you're asking me. I happen to understand that this is a what have you done for me lately? And Lee and the Rooneys have been more than, I guess, patient with the entire situation going on. For when you look at Big Ben's rape allegations and you look at the fact that they haven't been to a conference, at least a conference championship in a decade, they have, I mean, and they follow suits with all the other coaches before Mike Tomlin. I mean, they hang on to coaches forever. They've only had like 4 coaches in the last like 40 years. Yep. So when you look at that, you have to understand that, if you don't win, I think the pressure will be mounting that something's going to happen. Something's going to have to happen in Pittsburgh. The NFL coaching pool, as far as a black coach, is slim to none. I think we got probably the most we've had in the last decade. I'm not saying we won't have more, but if you get fired from that Pittsburgh job, I just don't know if there'll be offers on the table from other NFL schools. Once these other bigger jobs are filled, I don't know if you'll have room in the collegiate ranks either. So for me, I think for Tomlin to come, I don't think it's a bad look, but I think that he'll have to overcome his own ego and his own internal demons. And, like almost like Nick Saban had to do. Nick Saban left the college ranks, went to the pros, and when it just didn't work out, he understood, I need to go back to somewhere where I can dominate and I can control year to year and compete on an annual basis. And that's, what he did in Alabama, and he's never looked back. I don't think it's a bad look for Tomlin, but as we talked off camera, if it was my choice, I'm going with the 41-year-old Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator minority known as Byron Leftwich. He was a great collegiate quarterback. He's an exceptional offensive coordinator, and he's got a Super Bowl under his belt. He's close enough in age to be relatable to some of the younger players. So for me, from a recruiting standpoint, this guy probably even still listens to the same music as some of the 18, 19, 20-year-old recruits he'll be responsible for. You see? So for me, I'm going with the younger blood, and I'm gonna break stride with this notion that everybody has to be old, settled, and shocking in order for it. I mean, that doesn't work in every situation. What I do know is to get through to some of the younger guys, and especially with 2 more big programs coming to the SEC down the pike. We've got to be able to recruit from those states. We've got to be able to recruit from Florida, from Texas, from California. How do you do that with old traditional blue blood? I don't want that. Let's get Leftwich in. Let's even bring Joe Brady back in to be offensive coordinator and see where that goes. You see, we can mix it up. We don't need to do anything with defense. Let's just try to shake up the offensive side of the ball, and let's do something nobody else does. Let's get the younger blood in and see how that works.
All right, Kev, I'm gonna give you a chance to respond. What you think about Maz's comment, bro?
On the contrary, he makes some good points, but I'm gonna have to disagree because I look at it like this: Leftwich will be a great hire, but at certain timing and everything. Now, this all is predicated on what happens in Pittsburgh's season this year, and will the Roonies might go another way because of the reasons you said. Haven't been to a conference championship in years, haven't won a Super Bowl in years. Maybe it's time to clean house, you know what I'm saying? But when you get a guy like Tomlin, you bring in cachet. Leftwich yet haven't proved that he can do all those things you said, Mozzie. There's potential there, but he hasn't shown it. So now you're going to go put all this money and give all these resources to a guy who haven't coached yet. That's not really where they're going to go. They want a guy who's established. And Mike Tomlin is not an old guy. He's not Stan Van Gundy, bro. Like, I don't know what you mean. Yeah. Mike Tomlin, he got passion. He's familiar with the area. And plus, they want to make a minority hire. So, I don't think you could go wrong with Leftwich. It's about they need somebody with cachet that these guys could come in and respect of a guy who's been there, coached, and have won it. So that's my whole take on it. It's a long shot, but scare money don't make money. So let's see what happens, bro.
Did Tomlin even play on the collegiate level?
Yeah, he went to William and Mary. He played with Darren Sharper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you do realize Leftwich at Marshall was a bigger guy coming in.
But Miles, I didn't say he wasn't a bad hire. I'm saying in this situation right now, like say for instance, if Duke had an opening job and you get Leftwich, that's a great hire right now because Duke football program is not expecting to
Okay. And see, I think the only thing that will put Tomlin, I mean, with them even as far as from the recruiting standpoint is that both of them are minorities. So my thing is when you step into the living room of an 18-year-old kid, right, that listens to NBA Youngboy, who's gonna come across to him more, Leftwich or Tomlin? That's my point.
Because think about you before you go outside and recruit all these other states you're talking about. You got to take care of home. And in South Louisiana and North Louisiana, there was a more traditional families. So before you can get the student, you got to get the family and the parents involved that's on board. You got to remember that. You don't get the student before you get the parents. So Tomlin can do that, bro. So, but still in all, these are still like long shots. I don't think either guy may come to LSU. So I think
Leftwich good in theory.
Yeah, I think Leftwich is going to want to go do a pro job. He's going to want to be a coach, a head NFL coach. But Tomlin is the more interesting one because let's say if Pittsburgh doesn't end up having a successful season and the Roonies want to go another way and he's out there, now LSU have to battle USC. Now this comes back to the previous conversation we had before the season. California with beaches, LSU with what they got in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
If you're looking for lifestyle and prestige and tradition, boy, California looking good with that nice weather all the time. And it never rains in Southern California, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just
listen, that guy's been in a cold, desolate, steel, blue-collar city for 2 decades.
And enjoys it.
And for 2 decades. Now he got a chance to go and be around all the
nice
honey.
Weather. Ooh,
all the honeys in Malibu and come on now,
Beverly
bro.
Hills. Yeah, that's tough, bro. That's a tough one to sell. Just climate and environment alone. We're not even talking about the programs. The outside influence is going to make the decision if that comes down to USC and LSU. Now, if you go football program wise, USC do have a longer tradition of winning than LSU. More like recent, LSU has been more out there than USC. But okay, so you scratch those off. Let's call it a draw. Now what's next? Atmosphere, climate. other business adventures. In California, movies, commercials, more production, more news people, more women, more sun, more beaches, more this, more that. I mean, what you gonna do, Q?
Yeah, you got
Well,
the
I
money,
mean, you got
you got the honeys, and you got the drop top Corvettes. You got all they rollerblade
That's
naked in
territory.
Malibu.
That,
You know what it
see
is.
how he talks about it. That's
And it never
that's his style.
rains
That's his
for home.
swag.
It never rains at all.
Do 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 do.
It never rains in such.
All right. Well, I mean, regardless of the weather and the palm trees in California, we still got to be able to land somebody here. Listen, we ain't a piddling organization here. We were able to get some national championships. The issue is we want to bring in a guy that can keep that every year will be in the conversation for a national championship. And how is that? We have to perennially win. They have the talent here. We have the talent. We just need somebody to help organize something with a more credible name. Coach O kind of sizzled and burned. He never had that level of success before in his professional career that he had in 2019. The year after that, he got divorced and he started popping up with his girlfriends at the practice. He started cussing and fussing at the players. He lost control, and that image that he had of the fatherly, cool coach, they seen an ugly side of him that they didn't want to deal with, and he started seeing a lot of that occur. We have to be able to get
People
somebody.
are transferring left to right. You see it. Look at Miles Brennan. That's Miles'
good
boy.
luck.
He going to I heard Ole Miss. He might be transferring to.
Good. Well, listen, Miles, for him, man, Miles Brennan, good luck to you, fam. I appreciate you for what you kind of did for us, but listen, man, hasta la vista. I have absolutely no fear of Miles Brennan. I'm gonna just keep it honest.
I know. I'm just saying, guys leaving, all of a sudden because they seeing the house is coming down, right. It's time to get out of here,
Well, I mean, and listen, it's fine because the next coach that they'll bring in, he'll recruit the proper people to come here. And that's what I'm saying. Woodward's going to swing for the fences. He's going to bring in one of the top 5 in college, one of the top 5 coaches in college to come here to be at LSU. We might reach into the pro game and pull a credible name. Who knows? But at the end of the day, whoever the hire is going to be, it's going to be a big name hire that should electrify and excite the family base here at LSU football. So, I mean, we'll just have to see what that is. My only critique or criticism of the process was they let him know too early about that they ain't want him. But I think they did that so far as if he would have actually started winning some of these big games, like against Alabama. If he beats Alabama, he beats all these other clubs. It makes it difficult for them then to say, we're going to fire him. Why are you firing Coach O? He beat Alabama. So that would have made it a little different. So I guess they kind of got ahead of that thing before it materialized. But anyway, we're going to end the stream on that, man. We recapped the LSU and Alabama matchup. They lose 20-14. We also previewed the next matchup coming up, a 6:00 game for next Saturday against the Arkansas Razorbacks, who are coming into Death Valley at 6-3. LSU, this is a must win. They have to be able to beat the Arkansas Razorbacks. Then they have ULL, and then of course on the back end of the schedule they have Texas A&M, who's playing pretty good football right now. So it's going to be close for LSU. We need to win out to even have a chance at a bowl, and I think that has to be the mindset. 3 games remaining, we must win out. We've got to get these games. So LSU offense, they have to come with something else. We'll see if they can do it. So listen, I thank you guys for joining us. Much love to GM Kev and Mozzie on the stream, dropping the science as well. Let me give the guys, Mozzie and Kevin, the last word before we depart. Floor is yours, Kev, then we go to Mozzie.
Well, nothing much to expect. We hope for a win, but if they lose, we won't be surprised. Like we just all talked about, more people gonna see, hitting the transfer wire. It's all gonna come down to who we pick going forward as coach. What's his vision and the assistants around him. Until then, we just stuck in this maze right now, bro. Like Coach O. Look, bro, it's hard to. Some people can't handle success, and we know that his firing wasn't just about football. We could be real about it. We know other factors played into that. So, yeah, man. I mean, I don't have no more words for it. It's like 30 minutes to go before the Saints kickoff. So, I'm out.
All right, Mozzie, word on that, bro. Last word.
I actually have like 5 words, right? SRS Crack Distribution Las Vegas Bowl.
They got to win out. They got to win out to get to that, though, Miles.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's not gonna happen.
And it's called the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. There's no narcotic name. No, that's not in there. Just SRS Distribution.
What they what are they distributing though? Like
probably some products, toilet paper, stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, you know why? Because there's some shit. That's the perfect bowl, kid.
Toilet paper.
That's the toilet bowl.
Oh my God.
The Gerber toilet bowl. That's what it is. 1.7 gallons per flush bowl. That's what we going to.
How did we fall from grace this fast, bro? Why did it all go wrong?
Well, listen, Miles. I'm just joking about it. SRS Distribution. They deal with roofing supplies. You know, they distribute to roofing supplies. So, that's pretty much what they are. They're out of McKinney, Texas, and they distribute roofing supplies, my friend.
Okay.
I was just joking about that. So there you go.
Okay. Well, we sure about to get the roof blown off our season. Yeah. Well, I guess however you want to slice it, I got 1 million of them. Like, that's what I do.
All right. Well, there it is. All right, fam. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Tuff Tiger Talk. LSU keeps it close and Alabama lost 20-14. We will return with another recap of the LSU versus Arkansas matchup at Death Valley at 6:00. So it'll be a late stream. So I appreciate you guys for chiming in. Much love to you guys. And we'll holler at you later. We're about to cross over to our Saints coverage as we'll get our Saints versus Falcons Week 9 watch live, a stream, watch party going. So we'll cover some news before the stream, and then we'll go the entire summation of the game. So that'll be on our Pro Media Network Saints channel. So with that being said, we're going to cut out on that. So much love to the Tiger Nation. We appreciate y'all, and we'll holler at you later. Go Tigers.
Peace.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.